Okay, let's talk about the global economy. But forget everything you think you know, because right now the rulebook is being totally rewritten, and not where you'd expect. Today we're going to unpack the new playbook for what are called emerging markets. And trust me, understanding this is no longer just some nice to have, it's essential.
So let me ask you a question. Where is the future of global business actually being built? Your mind probably jumps straight to places like Silicon Valley, right? Or maybe London. But the real answer? It's shifting, fast. All the explosive growth, the really disruptive innovation, it's happening somewhere else. And that's the big question we're digging into today. All right, so first things first. We need to be on the same page. What are we even talking about when we say emerging markets? Like, what makes a market emerging? And why is everyone calling it the new economic frontier? Let's break it down. Okay, so here's the best way to think about it. Imagine an economic engine just hitting ludicrous speed. That's pretty much an emerging market. It's a country's economy that is just accelerating, like really fast, on its way to becoming advanced. And we're not talking about slow and steady progress here. No, no. This is all about explosive growth and this huge, massive shift toward industrialization. It's an economy in total hyperdrive. And this is where it gets really interesting, because here's the crucial difference. If you look at mature markets, think the US or Western Europe, growth is, well, it's kind of slow. It's a really crowded space, right? Everybody's fighting for a slice of the pie, but the pie itself isn't really getting any bigger. But emerging markets? Oh, that's a whole different universe. We're talking high-octane growth, just vast, untapped potential. It's not about fighting for a slice anymore. It's about baking a whole new, massive pie. But hang on, this incredible potential doesn't just fall into your lap. You can't just show up and expect to win. Nope. The real secret here is learning how to spot the right opportunities. It's a whole different skill. So let's break down how the smart players are doing it. And this really requires a fundamental shift in your mindset. I mean, the old model was super simple. Hey, how can we sell our stuff here, right? But the new winning playbook, it asks a totally different question. What problem can we solve here? See the difference? The real advantage isn't in your product catalog. It's in finding a genuine, unmet need that people actually have. So you might be asking, okay, how do you actually find that problem to solve? Well, it's a pretty clear three-step process. First, it all starts with the consumer. You have to get obsessed. Go deep into their culture, their daily life. Only after you do that can you really pinpoint a need that isn't being met. And then finally, you got to be realistic about it. You have to assess the landscape. Who's already playing in this space? What are the real on-the-ground challenges? It's a journey that starts with empathy and ends with a real opportunity. All right, so you've done the work, you've spotted the opportunity. Now what? Well, this is where the playbook comes in. We're going to walk through 3 core plays that the winning companies use to turn all that potential into actual results. Play number 1, this is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to adapt. I mean, you can't just parachute a Western product into a totally new market and cross your fingers. It just doesn't work. Think about it. Fast food chains creating spicier menu items, tech companies completely changing their user interfaces. It's all about that deep customization. It shows you actually get it, you understand and respect the local culture. Next up, play number 2, don't be a lone wolf. Seriously. Forging local partnerships is kind of like getting a cheat code for the market. It instantly plugs you into all the local networks, helps you navigate those tricky regulations, and this is huge. It lets you borrow the trust that your partner has already spent years building in the community. It is by far the fastest way to become an insider. And the third play is a big one. It's all about innovating your business model. This means you have to totally rethink things like price and access. Consumers might have completely different budgets, or they might buy things in ways you've never seen before. This is where you get those brilliant ideas, like selling products in tiny single-use packets or building entire payment systems just for mobile phones. It's all about redesigning your model to fit the market, not trying to force the market to fit your model. So when you put all 3 of these plays together, what do you get? You get this really powerful framework. It's a strategic flow, right? You adapt to connect with the culture, you partner up to navigate the landscape, and you innovate to make sure people can actually access what you're offering. Each play just builds on the last one, creating this super strong, sustainable advantage. Okay, so that's the playbook for how to win on the ground. But let's be real, the impact of all this goes way beyond one company's bottom line. When you zoom out, like way out, you start to see that the rise of these markets is literally reshaping our entire world. This right here really gets to the heart of the matter. This quote says it all. The economic shifts in emerging markets don't just create new companies. They redefine the global economy for everyone. And we're not just talking about a few new factories here. No. We are talking about a fundamental, seismic shift in everything. Supply chains where money gets invested, and yeah, even the global balance of power. And hey, don't for a second think this is just some abstract economic trend that doesn't affect you. It absolutely does. It impacts your life directly. It shapes the phone in your pocket and the apps you use every day, a lot of which are now designed for a global audience from the get-go. It influences your career, the jobs of the future, the skills that will be in demand. And it's the engine driving global innovation, creating solutions that, guess what, often find their way right back to us. So look, the bottom line is really simple. It doesn't matter if you're an investor, an entrepreneur, or honestly just someone trying to make sense of the world today. Understanding these markets, it is no longer some niche specialty. It is absolutely essential knowledge for navigating the economy we live in right now.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next global giant, the next Amazon or Google, it might not come from Silicon Valley. It could very well be a startup in Lagos or São Paulo or Jakarta solving a local problem right now. And the real question you have to ask yourself is, what does that new reality mean for you? Thanks for diving into this with me.